Last week I talked about inferential comprehension, and I talked about how reading for meaning beautifully dovetails with that. Well, I have a story. So my son Jonathan, who is now 35 years old with Down syndrome and a few other diagnoses, when he was 9 years old, he had that mandatory evaluation. You know, every 3 years we have to make sure that Down syndrome didn't go away and that he still deserves services. You all know about that. So here came this evaluator, and she handed Jonathan a sheet of paper with a story on it. And she said, "Okay, read that aloud to me." So now I'm his reading teacher, right? All right, so I'm a little bit nervous. So he just easily read the story, and it was of zero interest to him. He's terrified of animals. Anything between the size of a flea and an elephant is absolutely terrifying. And this was a story about a puppy, not his favorite thing. The other thing he doesn't like is anything on his feet. And this was a story about a little boy putting on boots. So we are at zero interest here in this story. So in the story, the puppy finds his way into a puddle of water, can't get out. The kid puts on his boots, wades into the pool to get the puppy to save him. All right, so Jonathan reads the story, and then this evaluator starts firing comprehension questions at him. I totally froze because I had never once asked Jonathan a comprehension question, and he was an independent reader by then, because he had just been reading all of his personal books, which had very few pictures in it, and he understood everything. So I froze. I thought, oh my gosh, what's he going to say? So she says, "Why did the boy put on his boots?" Jonathan answered her. "Why did he wade into the pool?" Jonathan answered her. She asked all these inferential questions, and I was blown away. He was completely comfortable with answering all of his questions. And then the light bulb went off. He's always read for meaning. So when she handed him this piece of paper that he could have cared less about, he still thought, reading for meaning. I'm going to find out what's in the story. So that's why he was completely comfortable answering these questions. So I thought, wow, okay, reading for meaning really, really, really works. So that's your story for today.